Alright, 21 minutes and still haven't done anything. Alright, so as you guys know, before I get into this video, I want everyone to know I'm not trying to teach anybody anything. I'm not trying to sell anybody anything. I'm not a professional financial advisor. I'm not a professional trader. Nothing special. I'm just a guy on YouTube. So as you guys know, I've been personally uploading my results for quite some time now. I think like 6 months, like on a weekly basis. Like I'm showing the account that I was trading, so the visual profit and loss. Saying it as if it's something special. It's just I don't see anybody else doing this on, I don't want to say anybody else, but very few traders that are like big and known don't really do this type of stuff. Every once in a while, but guess what? Every once in a while you have a good week or a good month. But anyways, let's get into it. So as you see on the accounts, I did lose 35%. That's, to me, the way that I see it, because I'm making a payment plan, because there's a lot of math that goes behind everything. And so pretty much I'm just putting everything together on how I can expedite my process, but also I feel like it is kind of, what's happening is, it's kind of like a, not really a timestamp. I'm not putting pressure on myself. It's just, kind of everything's lining up. I don't want to say everything, but a couple things are lining up for where I can make a huge amount of progress, kind of like busting through that next wall. Like I've gathered all the tools that I need to get to the next level. But pretty much with everything kind of falling together, because with the new adjustment I made in my strategy, I figured out my own psychology. I don't want to say I figured it out, because then I don't want to be that guy who's just like every time, oh, I figured it out. It's just, I found something that's going to work better for me. Not really work better for me, but mitigate the risk that I have exposing myself to that trading account in the market, because I'm not a robot and we're competing against robots in the market. So you got to be like very systematic. And so pretty much with my lifestyle that I'm living right now, because I ride so much, have been lately, because I don't worry about trading anymore. I just kind of like, my trades come up and I execute them. I'm not like on the charts like, oh man, gotta figure this stuff out. No, that's because I learned a long time ago that's not how trading works. And pretty much you can see that my equity curve right here for since April 15th. So that's about a month, I think, actually. Yeah, so that's about a month. But look how controlled this equity curve is. I'm not saying that it's not bad because it's going down, because I know that's bad. You don't want to lose money, right? But over the course of a month, and this is not the longest time span, but it's a good distance interval in terms of data set. So you look at this and look how controlled it is. Although I did lose 35%, you also got to look at the starting account balance. So the highest my account ever got to was $981. But I deposited $951, so that's a $30 gain, which was about 3%. And so I made that in like a day, but that was also because that strategy I was using at the time was spotty. I made an adjustment this week, which I'm going to go into. So pretty much, I just kept executing my strategy, but this past week I implemented a new strategy that I'll kind of explain that in a minute. Basically, long story short, I had to step back and I realized something about myself in the market, because I just kind of took a break and I left the charts per se with my mind, like I just looked at it from a different angle, because I don't know what happened. It was just, I just kind of started looking at trading at a different angle, and things started changing. I guess it was probably because I changed my perspective. But it's super controlled, and then we kind of take a dip here. We dip down to 35%. It's also a lower account size, so I was using literally 0.01 lots on every single one of my trades, and I lost 35% over the course of a month. Now that is quite a high percentage, and that is also due to because over leveraging, because I am 1 to 500. But my idea is I can keep a constant flow of my trades going. So basically, if one pair is profitable over the long run, I need to be able to have enough capital. I've gone over this in my older videos, like when I first started uploading. Go watch those. I'm not going to go into it in this video. But pretty much that idea still stands, but with my psychology, it's really hard for me to mentally be stable when I'm taking so many losses in a row at a high frequent pace. Like in one day I'll lose like 3-4%, and that's kind of like, honestly, that doesn't seem like a lot, but that's hard to deal with, especially like I'm not looking at this as like a life support income. It's something that I just really want to do and want to make happen, so I'm taking it very seriously, and I'm kind of noticing these things, and since I have a passion for it and I understand the lifestyle that I can have with it and the lifestyle that I want, I can, whatever your lifestyle is, you can make it with this. I just want that freedom really bad, and so I'm taking it very seriously, and I'm noticing these things. But yeah, no, I pretty much started to notice that I can't handle that. I don't think any human being can, because that's really hard mentally to deal with. So what I did was, let me just pull up a chart and show you. Alright, so I'm just going to use AUD CAD here because it's, I want to flex. I cherry picked it, so this is a winning trade that I'm in right now. Gotta always show the wins, right? So anyways, what I did was price trap. So you can see the off candle structure, I trapped the resistance and then the support. I go down to the 15-minute because, doing back testing. We'll just do this. What I was thinking was daily 4-hour at first, but I was like, oh, I don't know, because there's so many times that play in, looking at the statistics played out over time, writing it down. When you look at the data that I was collecting in my notebook, I found that there's so many breakouts. Like if I just take the breakouts on a lower time, catch them on a 15-minute, because sometimes they'll just blast through on like the 4-hour, but the 1 hour they're wicking out for a while, and then you go down to the 15-minute, and then pretty much you see like market structure breaking out of it, and then coming back in, and then breaking out again, pretty much like how this trade is playing out. I'm not saying like it did this on like a higher time frame, but usually on the daily, you can see that price will just kind of blast through it right here, and then it takes like literally a week or two to come back to that area, which I guess possibly that could make for some better trades, which I've been thinking about. But pretty much I'm able to catch that initial breakout, so I'm for sure in the trade, although I'm more at risk. Like over here, we look at this level right here. If we go down to the 15-minute, and what I noticed this week also, it was really cool. I was like, hey, when I'm trading, like I have so little pairs, all I have to do is tag them. I'm trading the daily levels on a lower time frame breakout. Like, dude, like, why was I not doing that so long ago? I don't fucking know why. But for my lifestyle, the way that I'm living, pretty much I get like 3 to 4 different pairs. I can still watch all the pairs that I'm watching, but on the daily, I'm trading the daily levels. So pretty much I have 3 to 4 different setups on different pairs that I'm getting every single day, so I can flag those pairs, and throughout the day I can just watch what's happening instead of watching 19 different pairs constantly. So that makes me feel more comfortable when I'm trading, because I know I'm diversifying my assets. And so since I'm catching these trades on a lower time frame level, if we look at the 4-hour off that level, you can see price just, it does retest on this level, but how many times have I seen through backtesting, because I've done like years of data through backtesting, getting a couple years worth of data through backtesting literally takes me like an hour. It's not anything hard. People just don't want to do it. But sometimes it does retest, but I found that just over time, so many times it doesn't retest on the higher level. The one thing that I am scared of on the lower time frame though, with these breakout levels is, what if it's wicking out on the higher time frame level, like a candle hasn't broken below the level yet, it hasn't closed below the level. So what if it's wicking on a higher time frame, but on a lower time frame it's starting to build bullish structure off of a selling bias? So I got to keep that in mind when I'm doing this. But I've seen it so many times to where it plays out. Like there's just so many entries where if I'm going to delete these other time frames. Let's go back to where this trade is at. So I'm using 50 pip stop losses and 50 pip take profits on my TP1. My TP2, I'm still deciding if I want to do a 1 to 2 or a 1 to 3. So I did the back testing to see if it was profitable, which I found it was, and it's literally a little bit better win rate than what I was getting with the other strategy. It's just I'm going to be able to mentally handle this more. The only exchange on that is I have to be more patient, but the thing is, like, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make at this point, because I don't look at trading the way that I used to. I've put in the hours, I put in the experience. I don't really give a shit about it anymore. Like, I really don't fucking care for it anymore. It's not my passion anymore. The thing is this is going to bring me the freedom to my life like no other thing in the world will ever do. I have control over my income, and I don't have to exchange my time for money. So I don't have to rely on anybody for money. I don't have to rely from a job being like, oh, you know, we can't, like what happened with COVID is millions of Americans were laid off because the business couldn't afford to keep them on the payroll. That could happen to me any day. I'm not worried about it because I have this. That gives me the mental freedom, so I don't have that work stress coming home also, because I'm not exchanging my time for money, so I don't have the work stress. I'm going to be more energetic around my kids. I'm going to be able to be a happier person around my kids and raise the family that I want to have. The white picket fence, I guess you can say. That's my white picket fence, I guess. But yeah, so anyways, what I've noticed with my psychology though is that this like, I tested it for a week. It was so much better for me. Like, I had no mental stress at all. And I'm not gonna lie, as you can see on screen, which way is it? That way right there. Doesn't seem like a whole lot of money, but I think it's like $23 right now. But the thing is, I've been in profit in terms of floating profit. Like, it's covering my losses. So my big winning trades are playing out. I just need to be patient, right? And so since my big winning trades take about a week or two to play out, if I keep this constant rotation, the machine's going to be churned. So I'm not really going to have a losing month after the first couple months. I mean, I don't want to say I'm not going to have a losing month, because it could happen. But you're starting the machine, so those winning ones are going to cover the losses, and it's going to keep kind of like running on a, think of it as a wheel. It's going to be running for you, and all I'm doing is just, you know, by adding my the money on my payment plan, just kind of shoveling coal in the fire, you know. So just kind of expediting the process. I just need to wait those 2 weeks out. But for this first week that I've been on this trading plan, is like, I just noticed psychologically I'm definitely going to be able to I'm going to be able to follow this, because I'm literally checking the charts like 3 times a day, if that. Like, I just tag the pairs that I'm watching. Usually I tag them, like, if I see that price is moving really close to the level, I'll tag it, because that means I need to start watching it, right? Because it's getting close to the level that's an area of interest for me to enter. So it starts, you know, for this example, it starts raising towards the level. So for this example, we're just going to kind of back test it, and you see that price at this point, I wouldn't have my pair tagged, because if you look at it, I'm going to leave that there because I don't want to go through the whole process because I'm still watching that for the rest of the week to come, because I'm going to leave these trades to play out. So these videos, you'll be able to see how these pairs played out, because I want to start incorporating the charts into it, because it'll make it more interesting. And so anyways, at this point, I wouldn't have my my charts tagged at all. Well, this pair specifically. And I'm just watching it. This is on the 15-minute chart. So, like, you know, every 15 minutes, I'm not checking the charts every 15 minutes. I just look at this pair and I'm like, okay, well, it's going to be at least an hour for the candles, unless there's a huge spike in the market. But if there's a huge spike in the market to break a level, I don't want to be in that trade. That's just too much volatility for me. That makes me too worried for my stop loss. I want to see a nice, easy breakout. Like something like this. If I see a couple candles, I'm expecting a pullback here. But if I see a couple candles moving up like that, like this, I would enter the trade, because this isn't just one big ass candle. This is just, you know, multiple candles. But I'm expecting a pullback into this level, you know, a pretty deep pullback. But my stop loss is wide enough to cover it. If it breaks, pretty much, if it breaks this level right here. So we got these two levels of market structure. So when I'm seeing this, if it comes down to here, we could expect a jump off of it. But if it breaks below this level, if it wicks out and hits stop losses, I'm willing to take that loss, because I understand that's one of their possibilities. But I'm not putting pressure on it, but I've just seen it so many times. If it doesn't consolidate around this level and breaks this level, then it's just going to bounce off this level and go higher, but my stop loss is big enough to cover that. But I've seen so many times that if it breaks this level right here, this last resistance, if it doesn't treat it as support, then we're just going to go down anyways, and it's going to give you those false breakouts anyways. So I'm not going to sit here and wait. You know, I've seen it so many times. I'm not going to take those candlestick pattern, because there's only a certain percentage that they're right, and you have to manage your risk for them. That's absolutely 100%. Who's to say that's not right for market structure? Who's to say that's not right for trend lines? Who's to say that's not right for Fibonacci? There's not one specific golden goose egg, as you would put it. You just have to understand the probabilities and possibilities and understand your own psychology. Anyways, this is also another possibility. It could just take off of this daily level. It's a daily level. It has high volume, high probability setups. Those are the ones that I want to take because I know that there is a lot of volume coming in off those levels. And so I just need to do my due diligence, do research into it, and figure out the risk management. And you see, like, I'm also, like, I'm waiting forever. Like, look how long that I've been holding this trade for. This is also what I like about it, because I have freedom in my life with this. Like, I had absolute freedom last week. That was amazing. I never realized how much I hated a job until I felt that again. I'm still in this trade. It hasn't even hit take profit 1 yet. So we pushed up in profit. After about an hour and a half, we were 25 pips in profit. Then, after about 9 hours of holding the trade, I start going into drawdown. After about 14 hours in the trade, I go down 41 pips in drawdown. Using a 0.2 lot size, that's actually quite a bit for me for the account size, because I look at it in percentages, and that the percentages is like, I want to control that because I don't feel comfortable, because you got to look at the percentages or else you're going to go bust. It's all about managing the risk, and I've been, I found that out a long time ago. But 41% or 41 pips, so that's a drawdown of using 0.2 lot sizes on these trades, because I am on a higher time frame, so I can handle these drawdowns a lot better. Boom, we see it just kind of like after 14 hours in the trade. Granted, I probably slept about 6 of these hours, so that doesn't really count, but there's nothing I can do. I just got to let the trade do its thing. I've done my due diligence. I've done everything I need to do. That's the fun of it, is now you wait, but you just got to be confident in your strategy and understanding what's happening. Also, with these higher time frames, I'm also able to leave for a couple weeks. I'm able to leave these up on the chart. So, if there's a decision I need to make, I'm gonna be straight honest with you. They say it in the Wolf of Wall Street, and it is kind of true. If there's a money, like, because I have real money on the line, so, and I want to make it big with this. So, if there's a decision I need to make with my money in the market, I'm gonna go jerk off, and I'm gonna figure out, okay, what's the best decision? You got that clear nut clarity or post nut clarity. I'm going back to the gym, so that's also helping. So I'm, doing that also. But when it comes to a big decision like that, why do you think some of the big people are on top? The Wall Street boys, like, why are they on top? Because they're able to be in the battlefield and keep a logical head. That's also what I've been using writing for a lot. So I'm excited to see how that's gonna affect everything this week. So that'll be awesome to experience that. But minus 40 pips after 14 hours. We go back into profit and consolidate about 15 pips in profit for the next, 5 hours? After one full day of being in the trade, no take profit hit, no stop loss hit. I've been in the trade for a day at this point. A day and 3 hours to be exact. I'm down 20 pips in profit. Or not in profit, but in a loss. And now, with the markets closed, my stop losses are big enough, so I have 50 pip stop losses, but we're also sitting 18 pips in profit on this pair. I'm comfortable leaving this trade open over the weekend because with this trade, I have such a big stop loss, and I notice the biggest gaps that my broker will get during Sunday open, usually about 30 pips. So if I'm sitting 18 pips in profit, that gives me about 30 pips on my stop loss on Sunday open. So I'm comfortable with that because that's a lot of movement in the market. If it breaks that stop loss, I don't want to be in that trade anyways because it's going to go against me. And because it's going to break all sorts of levels because my stop loss is that big. You can see that my stop loss is below here. Like, this is all these market structure levels. Like, I am minimizing my risk of being stopped out while maximizing my probability of being in a winning trade. So, trade with no stop loss, gang. No, I'm still managing my risk with a stop loss. I just have a very wide stop loss. I'm letting the market breathe. That's another thing I learned this week is I wasn't doing that. I was trying to get better risk to rewards, which that wasn't the balance. And so anyways, yep, there's one pair. So I've been back testing on this pair, so that's why it's empty. That's why there's nothing on here, is because I've been using this pair as my guinea pig. I've been back testing this pair and seeing how that strategy reacts, seeing how long the trades take to play out, all that stuff. I've had this one marked up for a couple days. I'm going to update it on Sunday market open just because there's going to be a new candle for the daily. So that means I update my charts once a day, but I keep checking on them every so often. So I literally just look at them. If I'm taking a shit, I pull out my phone and I look at them, and it literally, it takes me 2 minutes and I'm still taking a shit, and then I go play a fucking game on my phone, or, you know, watch a video or whatever I'm going to do. So it doesn't take a whole lot of time to check the charts. But it also allows me to think like, okay, well, I can expect these pairs to set up in a couple hours, so it's going to be nice. This one's not playing out. Well, it's consolidating. This one I've been backtesting too. Another pair that I am in a trade with. Look at the market structure, super fucking clean off these daily levels. Boom, 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 boom. This video is going to be long as fuck. Boom, 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 boom. And then we pretty much go up. Yeah, we just kind of, you know, create some fucking boobies right here. So, pretty much it's just a double top as you would see it, but how many times have you seen price break, you know, create a double top and then break it and, you know, trip out all the people, oh, sell here, you know, you could sell here to this level, get the best risk reward, but that happens about, like, it only happens enough times if you just leave it as that and not do anything else special with you. You gotta do something fancy. You gotta do something that nobody else is doing. Everybody's on autopilot, so you gotta manage your risk somehow. I'm looking at these huge moves. A lot of people are looking at these smaller moves and they don't play out as much, and that's what I was doing. I have to look at this. Look at this, dude. Look at this move. I want to be in that, bro. Like, I want that. I want some of this move. I don't want none of this, like, super tiny, choppy, blah, 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 all that shit. No, like, I don't want that. I want these bigger moves that are happening in the market, and I want to be able to survive the drawdown, and I don't want to get stopped out, and I want to be able to capture these huge risk rewards while also having freedom in my life. All I gotta do is sacrifice half a year. Oh my god, it's too long. Half a year is not that long if you think about it. The summer is gonna last like 4 months. Live the life that you have now and just follow the plan. Live the life that you have now. Follow the plan for the 6 months. Do what you need to do, and I know what I need to do now. Execute. It works perfectly for you. Not perfectly for you. There's going to be adjustments down the road. Execute. Just do it, bro. Just do it. But pretty much the strategy works well with my psychology, and these results aren't going to show because it's going to take a long time for them to show, but I'm excited to see them also just physically on the account balance, because honestly in the MetaTrader I don't really look at what the account is sitting at. The biggest thing I look at is every time I want to check, like, I just use MetaTrader on my phone to execute the trade. I don't really study anything that's happening in there. That's the platform I use to execute. This is where I study, you know, what's going on with what I'm doing, and I can visually track my progress to see how I'm doing mentally. You know, like, I can see this strategy, and I also, just through experience, I know this strategy, the strategy I was using, although it was profitable on pen and paper, it's like, can you psychologically deal with that? Because can you compete with robots? Robots don't have emotions. Humans do. Can you compete with that? And no, I can't. I cannot. I'm not a robot. I can't do that. And so I have to use higher time frames. And as humans, you know, we live in a microwave society now. Everybody wants everything now, but think about it. If you create that payment plan, shovel the money into that bitch, it's going to be a fucking bullet train, dude. It ain't going to stop. And, you know, you just, once you get to where you want to be with trading, the thing is you can keep growing. That's the cool thing about it, is you're going to get to a point to where you've always wanted to be. What's after that, though? And then that's where, you know, the idea of, as humans, we want to help others. I mean, there's some crazy weirdos out there who want to hurt others, but for me, I want to use that money to build other businesses that are going to benefit people financially in the financial world. And I'm not going to get into that, but yeah. Anyways, you can see this equity curve is pretty controlled, though, over the course of a month and 5 days. That equity curve is very controlled. if I do say so myself, it's a little steep, but also I have to take in consideration, I like, look how many trades I traded. 778 trades, baby. Ooh, that's a lot of trades, and that's probably why, it's most definitely why I can't do what I'm doing. So I just needed to stop being greedy and sacrifice my patience. I need to be more patient. I need to stop trying to rush the process. And yeah, and I realized that a very big time this week. And yeah, that was pretty awesome. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much been the video. It was kind of a long one, but I don't know if you guys actually made it to the end. I hope videos, like, I kind of enjoyed doing this video, because I like went more into detail about what I'm doing. But if you guys enjoy these videos, one, I'll be able to tell by the statistics, but two, if you guys liked them, make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know that you like these videos. Also like the video, that also lets me know. It also gets more views to the channel. But yeah, that's been pretty much the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the motovlog.